New week, new film out, and I really deserve this after watching that atrocity of a film that got released last week. Do not really want to beat on the dead horse about that film, but I just have to mention how this film will cost 80 million to make and looks exponentially better and is actually better than the shorter, more expensive film that I watched last week.
Now we're talking. If something is good, I'll say it's good. This is good. If something is, I will not lie. I will not lie.
So the story is basically on how the use of AI has supposedly gone bad and they have turned against us. And we are at war with them after they absolutely destroy the city. And the AI is trying to fight for their survival and live with us line in line, basically. David Washington is paired up with this little girl. Definitely something we have never seen before. Like, this is the most original idea I've ever seen. But I'm not going to throw the movie under the bus for that. Like, it worked for some of these films and it also worked for this. But speaking about Washington, he was really, really good in this. Like, this dude has this sense of like a big screen presence about him. I don't know how to explain it, but even in Tenet, in this, I don't know, he can just capture the screen. You just have to watch him act to understand what I'm trying to talk about. But yeah, besides that, his emotional scenes in this film, like besides everything else we were doing, like those emotional scenes where you see him like crying and like him interacting with people that he loved, it was really, really good. He was just a really good action movie character fighting for the person and people that he loves in this film. But what really just amazes me about this film is its visuals. There is just something about big films. I just love big films that feel big, like they're fighting on an empty space and it feels like they're fighting in a vast empty space and not just some CGI closet. Also, the VFX on the character designs for like the hybrid AI characters and the regular AI characters, like, just looks really, really good. The city, we see glimpses of it, giving this blend of like a cyberpunkish dystopian future. You know how these look, we've seen them in like a ton of movies. This is not really too far off, too far different. It's really beautiful, really stunning. It also really pretty and appealing for me personally. Never got exhausted looking at it and just appealed for me, you know. And another little thing about the VFX that I'll praise about this film is at like the explosions and the use of like missiles and rockets and stuff. I don't know, it felt real. Sometimes the film can just like do an explosion and you don't feel like that weight of the explosion. It just feels like you're seeing an explosion, but you don't feel it. I don't know, it feels like an explosion's going off, and it's not as if it's like big explosions. It's sometimes like the smallest explosion you see in the film, but it feels real. It's just like a big blockbuster. It's like a blockbuster light, because it's not like the largest budget in the world, but what they managed to do with that $80 million budget is just insane. I cannot lie. The director, Gareth Edwards, I just have to applaud him, and also considering that this is an original story, he probably had the freedom to make the film the way he wanted. I feel like there were some bits that were a bit held back or restrained. I feel like that's what that came after. Maybe he showed the higher ups the film and they were like, oh, you need to maybe remove that and do that. But like, for the most part, it felt like a film that was made by the director. And I'm actually happy that it got released in cinemas, unlike some Fox films in the past that just got dumped on Disney Plus or Hulu. Yeah, and this film is good and all. It's a really good film. I really loved it. Don't get me wrong, but it's not amazing. It's not perfect. And where one bit that I'm going to talk about, just a couple of things that I didn't find really nice with it, and one of it was the decision making from the characters in telling the story. Do not get me wrong, I love this film. I'm going to say it again. I really love this film. This is a solid film, but regardless, I hate it when unquote bad guys just act like complete morons. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'm just going to say that the reason why the bad guys in this film lost was because of how stupid they were. They had so many chances to eliminate the threat, but they just made dumb choices. And but like, sometimes I was just sitting down there questioning, why can't you just, do it yourself? Why do you need the other person to do it for you? Just do it yourself and be done with, Another thing I hated about this film was its lazy writing. I don't really want to label it as lazy writing because I like the film and I don't want to give it that label, but like I have to say it's lazy because it really is. And I'm just going to give one example, and this was in the beginning when Washington's character goes to see the weapon, and this literally happened. Him seeing the weapon literally happened just because the dude with him conveniently just had to leave, and a few seconds later the door where the weapon is opens. And it's not okay, maybe if it happens once, if it happens twice in the film, sure, okay, but it kept on happening. It was like a normal occurrence, like some act of divine intervention will just happen. Like, even if you, like, obviously every movie has like this level of plot armor, but like disguise it, hide it, write it well, that it just makes the film go and just doesn't make the protagonist feel like a protagonist, you know. But see, look at the things I'm hating this film for. Like, it's an $80 million film. It's a really, really pretty film. It has a really good story. I won't sit down here and say it's like an amazing story. I don't want to compare this film to Top Gun Maverick, but it feels like it's a Top Gun Maverick of this year. It's a basic story in terms of what it's trying to tell. Like, we have seen a couple of films like this, but these are everything. Something is influenced by something takes inspiration from something. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to discredit this film. It's an okay film. It's a very simple story it's trying to tell, but it does it in such a good way, and I put my hands up for it and I congratulate them and I applaud them for it. But it's a good sci-fi film. If you have the time, if you want to go watch a movie, you should definitely go check it out and form your own opinion. Me personally, I really, really liked it. And yeah, I'm happy to watch a good movie finally, because it's been a while. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.